y'all think? Do these blue light glasses actually do anything? I mean, the Amazon ad made it seem like they're really legit, but I'm just not convinced that they actually do anything. Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Nicole, and because it's my favorite day of the week, TMI Tuesday, we are going to be diving into some products that, unlike these blue light glasses, for sure, like really for sure, are not a good use of your money. Let's talk Lumi.
The only natural deodorant you can safely use on your private parts.
This is a company that I really wanted to like and support because they do avoid using things like aluminum and fragrance in their products, which are definitely not good for you. And if they just sold deodorant, I would be like, yeah, definitely go buy some Lumi deodorant. Unfortunately, they also sell a private parts deodorant that is really feeding into the lie that your lady parts are dirty.
At the office, inhaling your own front fumes.
Now, if you actually dive into the product on their website, you'll see that they are telling you should be using this deodorant under your breast, in the folds of your thigh, in your butt crack even, and they never explicitly say you should use this on your vulva.
Just take a pea-sized amount and apply it like a lotion to your privates.
However, in the commercial, it definitely alludes to the fact that you should be putting this product on your stinky vulva. They kind of miss the boat though, because we don't have stinky vulvas unless there's something wrong. And in that case, we should take care of the problem, not just hide it with some type of a deodorant. If you do find yourself having lots of stinky boob sweat and you want to try out this product, more power to you. But you could also just add an extra shower or wash with a plain wipe or washcloth, and it would probably take care of all that bacteria that's causing the stink in the first place. But whatever you do, please do not put this product on your vulva. That skin is not only extremely sensitive, but it also has its own bacteria. Bacteria isn't always bad, and in fact, that bacteria is there to get rid of the nasty bad bacteria. And if you put on some kind of a deodorant that could actually mess with the bacteria that's already there, you might actually be perpetuating the problem. And in that case, the stink is definitely not going away. Let's talk Summer's Eve. I am sure you have seen lots of these products in your local grocery store, department store, drugstore, wherever you like to shop.
There's a new swagger around town, thanks to the complete line from Summer's Eve.
The bottles are really pretty, the advertisements seem really compelling, and in fact, they used to make some commercials that made it seem like you really need these products to make sure you are clean and don't smell disgusting down there.
Feminine hygiene. Some women don't think they need it.
Again, why does everyone think that the lady parts smell so bad? I don't understand. Well, this company has been around for 40 years, and they've definitely made some improvements recently. In fact, just this year, they actually took 10 ingredients out of their product that were found to be extremely toxic, not good for our bodies at all, and definitely, really for sure, should not be used on our very sensitive lady parts. So kudos to them for getting rid of those 10 ingredients. However, they still do have fragrance in their products, which, number one, our lady parts do not need to smell like a field full of daisies, but also fragrance is not a good idea because nobody really knows what fragrance is. They call fragrance a trade secret, which means nobody has to reveal what's in their fragrance because it would be giving away the secret of their product. Unfortunately, by not telling us what that product is, we really have no idea what is in the fragrance. It could be something that is making us really itchy, our body is allergic to, which we would have no idea which of those ingredients it was because they're not telling us. Or it could just be something straight up toxic for our bodies that we have no idea what it is. So it's really important, if you are going to use some type of soap anywhere near your vulva, which is extremely sensitive, it does not have fragrance in it. And if you were tempted to use their spray for a quick freshen up, if you use these products, no shame to you. I definitely had these products in my cupboard, in my travel bag on my way to middle school camp. I think even in high school, because I had no idea that these sprays weren't good for our body. But we really shouldn't be spraying anything near the sensitive skin of our vulva. In fact, we could, again, mess up the natural bacteria, the pH, things that are going right in our lady parts by spraying something like this up by our vulva. While using the word douchebag to describe the idiots in our life is rather therapeutic, using an actual douche is never a good idea. There has actually been research done that says by douching or spraying a fluid up into our vagina to clean it out, to cleanse it, increases the likelihood that you could experience something like bacterial vaginosis. You may never even have heard of bacterial vaginosis, but what it means is that the natural bacteria that occurs in our lady parts to make sure everything stays clean and the bad bacteria gets out of there is disturbed, and there's no longer the right balance of bacteria in there. When this happens, one of the symptoms of bacterial vaginosis is a fishy smell, which is exactly what you were trying to get rid of by douching in the first place. So you're actually making the problem worse. Besides those fishy odors, it can also cause things like itching and burning when we pee. And I'm pretty sure none of us want our lady parts to feel anything like that. Super tampons.
Isn't it crazy too that like this is what a super is?
Yeah.
Like what?
I'm guessing I have your attention now. If you're anything like me, you probably have a box of these sitting in your bathroom cupboard right now as we speak. Until recently, I had no idea that by buying the box that only has super or ultra or the biggest tampons possible in it, actually increases our chance of toxic shock syndrome. If you're not familiar with toxic shock syndrome, it basically happens when a specific bacteria that lives in some women's bodies, that bacteria has the perfect environment to grow in, and when that happens, you can experience a very serious infection that can make your whole body go into shock. There has even been a report of a woman losing an entire leg as a result of toxic shock syndrome. While toxic shock syndrome is extremely rare, I think all of us want to decrease our risk of this terrible, terrible thing as much as possible. One of the things that you should definitely be doing, which is right on the box of any tampon, is to make sure you're only wearing it for 8 hours max. Those super tampons absorb tons of blood and make the perfect environment for this nasty bacteria to grow in. So during your heavy days, feel free to use whatever size tampon you need to do the job. However, on your lighter flow days, you should really go to a lighter tampon. Even if that means buying the variety box and having way more light tampons than super tampons, which is definitely annoying, and I can totally relate to that problem. It is worth the hassle if it's going to prevent something like toxic shock syndrome. While it might seem like a good idea to throw in a pad that's scented to cover up some of those smells that can occur from that blood sitting in that pad, it's not a good idea because again, you're having those fragrances, whatever that means, very close to very sensitive parts of your body. We know that the tissue within our vulva and vagina is very good at absorbing things. So using a scented pad is not a good idea because your body is then absorbing those things. The last thing you want is extra redness or itchiness on your lady parts during and after your period because you were using a scented pad. There was actually a report of one woman who could not figure out why she was having this terrible skin rash in her vagina that would get worse every time she was on her period, and finally they figured out it was because she had changed to using scented pads. Bottom line, just don't put anything with fragrance anywhere near your lady parts. If you are interested in a simple way to keep your lady parts clean, head on over to this video where I will break it down and make it extremely simple. But before you go, if you don't mind hitting that like button real fast, it would help me out more than you will ever know. Thanks so much for being here with me today. It's been a total pleasure hanging out. I will see you in the next video.